What if Usain Bolt decides to become a female and compete in female athletics? What if this decision influenced other pro athletes to become a female and compete in female athletics? If you ask me, that is the day where the words equal and equality becomes the most important things in athletics and sports as a whole. According to Comfort Kathleen 2022, who wrote an article titled "Put Me In, Coach," which she mentioned a transgender female athlete winning the state championships in both the 100 and 200 meters. In addition, the article also states she was met by lawsuits and boos after she had completed this great milestone. The lawsuits filed by three cisgender female athletes stated, or they claim that under the Connecticut's transgender policy, their rights were violated under the Title IX Act. In the past, women have been fighting for equality and their rights in sports, and they have come a long way. Today, we see women participating in all sorts of sports compared to the times of Athens. And to see these unfairness, let's say unfairness, it might scare them because all this progress can potentially be wiped away. Change is a part of human nature. And like us humans, we must change to adapt to our environment like we did in the past with the dinosaurs. And now, with the 21st century, we have made changes to get to this point. Transitioning genders is one of the most controversial and most historical change to date in sports and in our society. If we don't adapt to these changes while making sports more inclusive and fair to all genders, we will be stuck in one place. After my extensive research on the LGBTQ community and my personal experience in sports being an athlete, I've gathered solid evidence to support my claims of not allowing transgender athletes to compete in the current gender categories. I will explain the unfair biological, physical, and hormonal advantage that these transitioning males and females have on these biological categories. Also, I will propose solutions that can help resolve these gender-related problems. Finally, I will explain why these solutions are practical, and I would like to urge people to follow my movement to put these plans in place. And equity are not the same thing. We live in a world today where we're evolving towards a more inclusive mindset as it relates to sexuality and self-identity. But does this evolution prioritize equal or equity? According to a post on Written Explain, which states, equal and equitable are adjectives describing sameness or evenness. For something to be equal, proportions must be shared evenly between two or more entities. Unfortunately, males and females are not equal to begin with. And this adds, well, let's say not physically equal to begin with. And this automatically adds an unfair advantage to the female category where males decide to transition to females. Males unleash more testosterone than females. This gives the males a heightened muscle mass and strength over the females. On the other hand, a paper written by Vosler KM. 2021, female to male transition pose equal concern for the transgender male athletes. Effects of testosterone treatments on transgender males create forced male puberty, which increases muscle mass and strength. Physical abilities aside, there are also concerns about the World Anti-Doping Agency, WAD, the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, When transitioning, the process of hormone therapy is introduced and male and female hormones into the body. Due to this physical enhancements of hormones in the body, the WADA has been monitoring levels of hormones of the athletes, allowing transgender people to compete in these identified categories would bring major problems in the sports as it relates to fairness and integrity. There must be another solution where transgender males and females could compete in fairly and equally. Research and survey have been carried out by an article titled Public Attributes About Transgender Participation in the Sports. According to the article, respondents were asked how strongly they agree or disagree with allowing students who have had sex change to play college sports as a member of the current gender. After this research would have been conducted, it showed that the response indicated that a great deal of uncertainty is an issue. Due to this research and other researches like this, I would have liked to propose a solution to this problem. Currently, there are two gender categories in athletics that I am aware of, which is males and females. We moved to implement four with the addition of transgender males and transgender females. This method could work because of categorizing categorizing by identified genders, males, females, transgender males, solves the equality problem by implementing these categories, makes the sport fair for all genders. That we can use to foster and implement would be organizing separate meeting events. For example, disabled athletes do not compete in Olympics due to their disabilities. Therefore, there were separate games created to counteract that problem. This games is widely known as the Paralympics. According to the Paralympic Games 2021, the Paralympic Games is an international competition parallel to the Olympic Games, providing elite competition for athletically talented people with functional disabilities. Implementing a similar strategy that supports transgender athletes could be the significant success for, I like to call it, trans games or trans Olympics. Solutions will allow for fair competitions for all athletes, regardless of gender, separating into categories providing peace of mind. The competition is equal and no biological or physical medical advantage or disadvantage. Hence, this provides a more gender-friendly environment. Using the category process also helps decrease the chances of athletes changing their genders to get an upper edge in another competition. In the term, the trans Olympic idea could give the LGBTQ plus population a stage where they can now be widely recognized while a tremendous impact in the fight, no, while giving a tremendous impact in the fight for equality. Currently, trans athletes are allowed to compete in the current gender categories, which is unfair to other cisgender athletes in the terms of biology and physiology. Differences with the solution is presented. I believe they will be successful in producing equality and fairness for all in time. Considering these solutions provided, sports will have a chance to grow and prosper and not repeat the same mistakes in the past. Hence, it is essential now more than ever to take advantage of these opportunities. Make the correct decision for equality and fairness Thank you very much.